Hi there. Never quite sure whether 5 o'clock is late afternoon or early evening or what it is, but it's Friday. Um, I'll say early evening, August 2nd, Journal 127 and T+122. I want to share I want to share a story with you, and then talk about something that I hope you'll find interesting. Certainly worthy of thought. The Not sure if you've heard this before or not. I'm gonna share with you the rendition of the story that I was given. If you go to the City of Hope, you'll get off the 210 freeway. If you're coming from the west, you'll get off the 210 freeway at Buena Vista. Um, you'll make a right turn at the Buena Vista exit. You'll make a right turn onto Buena Vista. Then you'll go south, I think it is, until you reach Duarte Road. You'll make a left turn, which is headed east, and you'll pass Village Drive, which is where most people uh, tend to, or at least a lot of people tend to be sent by their GPS systems, and you'll wind up at Helford Hospital. Um, this is a large 6-story building that you'll see as you get close to City of Hope. If you go one entrance to the City of Hope further to Hope Drive, which has got its own traffic light, you'll be headed towards the Browerman building. And if you look to your right while you're headed down that street, you'll see a really, well, depending on the time of the year you go naturally, but most of the year when the roses are in bloom, you'll see one of the most incredible rose gardens you're likely to see. I think it takes up a full acre, if I'm not mistaken, but it's close, even if I am mistaken. And it's beautifully sculpted and landscaped, and I believe there are 100 different varieties of roses there. And the story I'd like to share is how it all started, and then I'd like to tie it back to something that we can discuss. There was a gentleman whose wife was being treated at the City of Hope, and her favorite flowers were roses, and he brought her roses, uh, but they couldn't accept them. They they had to ask him to take the roses out because no roses, no plants, no flowers, no silk flowers of any kind are going to be found anywhere inside the hospital, inside the wing of the hospital, where the floors of the hospital, where serious work is taking place with, infusions, treatment for, various kinds of myeloid cancers and leukemia, lymphoma, because they carry bacteria or spores or all kinds of things that could be problematical for somebody with a weakened immune system. The guy was persistent, not in bringing roses to the room, but in trying to figure out what he could do, what he could tell his wife that he had done of consequence to honor her. And he went ahead and he planted a rose bush, one single rose bush. And then he planted another, and another, and another, and continued to do that until it got picked up by the groundskeepers at the City of Hope. But the thing that was amazing about that is that he kept doing it after she had passed, after she had succumbed to her illness, and he kept planting rose bushes. And then the City of Hope continued to plant rose bushes. People made donations. People came in. The garden's really something to see. If you're ever out on the east side in that part of the world, in Arcadia, Monrovia, Azusa, Duarte, going to the City of Hope just to see the grounds on certain parts of the campus are well worthwhile. It's got the most, we talked about it before, the most beautiful Japanese garden. It's got a sculpture garden. It's got all kinds of things there that go way beyond what you'd find in a normal research center or hospital. I think that's really special. I think it was an amazing thing to do, and an amazing thing to keep doing, especially after his wife had passed, recognizing that other people would enjoy it. There are traditions that suggest that you plant a tree during life cycle events. You plant a tree in honor of someone's life cycle event, some ceremony of one kind or another, birth, passing, all different kinds of events. And planting a tree is a really optimistic and altruistic thing to do, because planting a tree, like planting roses, are gonna live perhaps at least as long, or perhaps longer than you will. And it'll provide shade for someone else. It'll provide a peaceful, quiet place for someone else other than you. And I think that's pretty much a metaphor, I guess, for the City of Hope and how they operate out there, and the beauty of what they do. It's a constant reminder to me of the altruism and optimism of others. It's an opportunity to stop for a moment and think about all the things you can do, all the things that you could do, probably all the things that you should do, not just for yourself, but for others. And the recognition that by doing things like planting that rose bush, or planting a tree, or giving back in some tangible way for the blessings that we have. And we can be challenged and still recognize that we're blessed in so many different ways. And still give back. And I think the act of doing that, at least in my experience, in my own personal experience, and in what I'm experiencing right now, is therapeutic in so many ways. So I guess what today's message is, think about the beauty and the joy of what we've all been given, what you've been given. Think of all the different ways we can give back in some way of service, of serving, recognizing that service and serving, or that service may be a noun, but the act of serving is a verb, takes action, and perhaps dedicate at least a portion of your time, energy, and effort to that end. I think it'll make you feel better. I know it makes me feel better. I know it always makes me feel better. And I'm hoping that as I get healthier and stronger, I'll be able to do more of that. Mostly at the City of Hope, but at other venues as well. In the meantime, stay well, take care. Hope I've given you something to think about, something to consider. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.